All right, so we're going to continue on here. One thing I added during the break was this nav bar right at the top. So nav is a HTML header tag that gives you the ability to see a navigation bar. And what I've added here is, it's fairly simple. If current user, I'm going to say hello current user, whatever your name is. And then there's also going to be a link for logging out. If there's no current user, I'm going to have a link for register and a link for logging in. Now, if you take a look here, this current user is something we haven't really seen before. You may have seen it yesterday when Mike was talking through it. But current user is basically a helper method that's given to us to see like who's logged in. Whenever you log into some sort of website, it says hello. Like if you go to Amazon, it says hello John or hello Sharif or whatever your name is. Or it's like you last logged in on blah or something like that. How do they know that? So what happens is when you log in, it'll authenticate you and save a helper method called current user to you. And then they have access to all of your name and your information, so they can populate things very quickly. So I've added that here, and I refresh the page, and that's what I get when I refresh the page. It says hello Kara because I'm currently logged in. I can click this log out button. It'll take care of logging out for me, but everything blows up. Let's refactor this a bit. Let's look here. Where is the log out? Sign out. Destroy user session. Okay, not an issue. So instead of having this link right here, I will have maybe a link to helper using all these helpers. Link to log out. I'm going to send them to the user destroy session path, and maybe that will work. Find out. I refresh here. There's still no log out. Let's go back to 3000. Refresh the page. It says hello Kara because I have that the navigation in there. When I click log out right here, okay, it says no route matches sign out. Let's see. I copied the wrong thing. Here we go. So again, I have this navigation bar with a few things. So if current user is that helper method saying like once you log in, it's going to assign your record in the database to this variable called current user. So it says hello, whatever your name is. If you're logged in, hello, and there's something to log you out. Otherwise, you're going to have a link to register and a link to log in. Let's refresh this page one more time. I won't have this issue again. All right, so hello, Kara. And when I hit log out here, it logs me out. And then it says, since I'm no longer logged in, it doesn't know what current user is. So it's either going to say either sign up or sign in. So let me log in at this point. So I have Kara at Kara Codes, and I'm going to do login. It's going to recognize who I am, and then I'm going to sign in successfully. Let's try to log in as someone who doesn't exist. So john@code.com, and my password is 123123. Log in. It's going to say invalid email or password. All of this stuff is like built in for free with Devise. Like you don't have to check the person's password. You don't have to check like how to sign them up and store their password successfully.
And if you shut the server and turn it back on and try to log in with Kara,
yeah, it'll still work.
It'll still work.
Yeah, and the reason why it still works. The question was, if I shut off the server and I turn it back on, will I still be able to sign in as that Kara at Kara Codes? And the answer is yes, mainly because of this. Bundle exec Rails C. Let me grab the user last. So this is my last user that I have. You can kind of see that a user has an email, a name, and a created at and updated at. You can see that their password is actually not listed here. So if I do a.password, it's going to be nothing, password digest. It is encrypted, but I can't find it.
I think it's password underscore.
protected method. All these are protected. So it's actually even better. I can't even find the password inside. It's like Devise is just like hiding it so much to the point where I can't even find the password, which is a good thing. Because if I can't find it, it's going to be more difficult for, I mean, hackers are better developers than I am, but it's more difficult to find than if I were just to store it inside of a database. So we took care of logging in and logging out with just a few lines of code. It's all in the curriculum for yesterday. Before we continue on with anything else, maybe we want to have a, like, maybe I can't go to do anything until I log in, right? Like, so it's kind of like saying you can't, with beer rating yesterday, right? You wanted to have everyone log in or register before they could actually provide a review of some sort, so that you're not getting a bunch of trolls just coming onto your website. Similarly, when you're talking about like YouTube comments now, you have to be logged into YouTube. So you have to stand behind your comments. I mean, obviously you can create fake email accounts. There's no way around that. But let's say that we want to have a way to protect everyone and just say like you have to log in or you have to register before you do anything. So if I have a filter that's going to go around everything, where does that go? Application what? Controller. All right, so maybe over here, let's see, do I have this in? Maybe I'll have a before action. Before action, I think it's authenticate user, unless I'm mistaken. Let's go to refresh. And that one little line, before action, saying before you can do anything on my website at all, you need to sign in or sign up before continuing. So that one little line, like, before action, authenticate user with a bang, is just saying, before you do anything, make sure you log in. And no, you can't get around this. I can't go to /celebrity genres. I can't go to that because it automatically, you can kind of see it automatically redirected me, which is a what status code? 300. Yep, it's a 300 status code. It redirected me directly back over to here. So yeah, you can sign up, you can sign in. Some other cool things with Devise, if you take a look at devise.rb, like Mike went over this yesterday, there's a lot of different configurations that you can set up. You can set up, you can send emails, you can, the one that I wanted to show off was number 6. No. Okay, so maybe like password length. As of right now, if you take a look over here and I want to register, it says there's an 8-character minimum. 6 characters. 6 characters is very weak, right? You want passwords that are a little bit stronger than just 6 characters. So maybe I want to make it like 8 characters long. And I refresh the page. I change it in that one little thing, refresh the page, and you can kind of see that this is not picking up the changes. We'll need to kill the server and restart. Refresh the page here. Instead of 6 characters, it now becomes 8-character minimum. That one little tiny line of code will allow you to configure different things. So you can have it minimum of 8, maximum of 128. This is the regular expression to see if you have an email address, like a proper email address inside the email, logging in and logging out. If I, let's see, I want to time out the person with activity. It will take 30 minutes for them to, like, after 30 minutes, I'm going to lock them out. Or like this one's kind of fun. Let's do configuration for lockable. So you want to lock an account after a number of attempts have happened. So let's take a look at failed attempts. Maximum of attempts is 3. Let's say I'm just going to lock myself out, and then they're going to unlock me in 1 hour. No, what did I just do? Here. So this thing, like I have not used lockable before personally, like in a regular environment. So I'm guessing this will work. So I'm going to lock somebody based off of failed attempts. The only way to unlock an account is time. I'm going to lock you out after 3 attempts, and I'll unlock you in 1 hour or something like that. And maybe I'll have a little warning to say, like, I'm going to lock you out if you keep if you mess up 1 more time. So let's see if this works. I'm not sure that it does. So I'm going to save this, kill the server, and restart. Let's see if this works. All right, so let's go here, refresh. All right, we're going to log in. I'm going to do caret codes, and I'm going to do, obviously not a password. I'm just entering random things. Log in. 1 attempt down. It's incorrect. Let's do a bunch of nonsensical text. Log in. That's 2. Let's see if this works. I'm not sure if it does. How many times can I log in? Looks like I'm trying a bunch of times.
You need to add a lock-in option in your controller.
My controller.
Or your model, I mean.
My model? Okay. It's lockable, right? Yeah.
And there's going to be another error after that. You have to do. I forgot what it was.
Okay. Let's try it. So I'm here again. 1. Undefined method or variable locked at. Did you mean lock access?
Oh yeah, I think you have.
Oh, I need to add it to the database, don't I?
Yeah, you have to.
Okay, so let's go back to user, create user. So there is a lockable. Yeah, there it is. I need to uncomment this. And then I need to remigrate. So I'm going to YOLO this, but in reality, I would add a column to the users table and just add that in there. Like create another migration. It says alter table or change table or something. I'm just going to grab this and then put it in. Did you try this yesterday or something? Yeah. Okay, let me register for a person. So localhost 3000. I have that before action. It says like you have to log in before you can do anything. All right, so let me register. This is all here already. I'm going to change the character count back to 6. Roots dot. Roots. Just 6.
What do you press to find it again? Command what?
Command F. Okay, so I'm going to register here. Hopefully this will work. So, okay, whatever. John@code.com. Whatever, that's my name. 123123, 123123, sign up. Okay, I'm going to log out, log back in. John@code.com. I'm going to do 123456 as my password the first time. Invalid. A bunch of nonsensicals. Log in. Will let me know. You have 1 more attempt before your account is locked. So I didn't have to type anything for that. It was already built in. Let's do 1 more time. I'm going to lock myself out. 321 321. log in, and it's going to say your account is locked. And the only way to get it out is you can set up maybe emails to get yourself out, like click this link to reset your password. Right now, I can't log in until 30 minutes from now, which really sucks. I should probably have done it down to like 1 minute or something, or 90 seconds. But yeah, so this is like the power of Devise is like all this stuff is at your fingertips with very, very small configuration changes. I start off by this devise.rb. I read through a few things. I figure out like what might work. I match it up with the user model. And then this is all other things that are available are confirmable, lockable, timeoutable, and omni-authable. So these are all things that are available to you. So I just added lockable here. And then when it blew up again, it says like the lockable thing is not taken out here. There's also an ability to do this confirmable as well. You can also confirm, like once you register, like please confirm that this is you or something like that.
So if you do the email option, it's already set for you, where you unlock through email, it will send to that email, and it already has that link. You just click to unlock.
Right. Yeah. And then that will make a request to the database here for your application and unlock it for you. Yeah. There's quite a bit of stuff that Devise can do for you. But I think that was the biggest thing that people were struggling with. I don't think it was nested CRUD. I think it was just how do I get logging in and logging out. So I hope this was helpful. What we'll do today in that case is sure. It's going to be a choose your own adventure kind of day. We've done Rails CRUD with a single resource, Rails CRUD with a nested resources. We did helpers like link to and form for. There's no shortage at all in terms of all the things that you can do. And then we did Devise for authentication. It's going to be more or less a pick your own adventure day kind of today. So let's see what we've got. And again, nothing fancy. I'm just going based off of the curriculum that's already written for you. So let's jump over to curriculum. We're in week 8. See what we've got for today. Yep, it's a create your own adventure day. These are the ones that I recommend going through. So if you're having troubles with single resource CRUD, do these particular assignments. If you're having trouble with nested CRUD, do that. If you want to do CRUD with authentication, or like a super duper challenge, the class scheduler is very difficult.
What makes that difficult?
This one has associations like no other. The beer rating, a beer has many ratings, and a rating belongs to a beer. That one's pretty simple. Class scheduler has many classes and appointments and things like that. So there's just another join table.
So I think everyone's trying to avoid the many-to-many relationship, but in the event that you do use it, I know like in the model you have to use has many n belongs to, but then how do you do the routes?
Yeah, so let's take a look. So what was it, bodybuilding exercises? That's the one you showed me? So when you do many-to-many, that means that you can do nested routes when one thing has many of the other, and that other thing only belongs to that one thing. Like a tree has many apples, and an apple belongs to one tree. Like that is something that you can do. But when you have a many-to-many relationship, which is most of the world, like a country has many citizens, and a citizen belongs to a country, but a citizen can belong to many countries. They could have multiple passports. What's going to happen oftentimes is you will have like a many-to-many relationship, and you won't be able to go as nicely as like /countries/citizens. Like it's not going to be as nice as that. A good way to demonstrate it is like this thing that Danny showed me a little bit earlier. So when you go to bodybuilding.com/exercises, and I choose like abs, right? Let's say I really want some abs. You can kind of see over here, it doesn't have numbers in the URL. It says /exercises/muscle/abdominals. And when I take a look at one particular exercise, I click this. It's not taking me to a particular number, but it's taking me to /exercises/suspended fallout. Because you can kind of see the main muscle worked is abdominals, but there probably are other muscle groups that are also utilized. So if I were to look up, like a deadlift or something along those lines, double dumbbell bench press, push-ups. So you can kind of see like push-up can belong to many different body parts, right? A push-up belongs to your arms, it belongs to your back, it belongs to your core to a certain extent. So in that body part has many exercises, and that exercise also has many body parts that it alters. But you're not seeing like 40 nested resources all the way down. What's happening here is it's just saying /exercises /pushups. So they have a route for /exercises /whatever ID number there is. We're not using ID numbers here. We're just using the name of the exercise. Now, what's happening in the back end is probably like 1,000 join tables, and you can do whatever join tables you need to do in the back end, and you could choose essentially what you want to do with your URLs on the top portion. It doesn't have to be nested resources.
So if you have a join table, exercises, muscles join table, how does your route look like for like push-ups? It's just exercises. I don't know how that looks in the route.
Sure. So the question was, let's say I have a route, like I have two big resources, exercises and muscle groups, right? An exercise has many muscle groups sometimes, and a muscle group has many exercises. So it's a many-to-many relationship. You need a join table in the middle. Now, if you were to do like a nested thing, that doesn't work here, because then it'd be like /muscle groups /1 /exercises. But an exercise also has many muscle groups. So you can join these together in the back however you wish. So what oftentimes people will do is they will, like for bodybuilding.com at least, it seems like they're just going with exercises and then /whatever exercise. And then when you get to this page, you can click on, like, I think I have the ability to click on chest. Like going back outwards instead of, so if you kind of see the URL that's in the top right there, it's /exercises /pushups. On the bottom, when I click for chest, it's sending me to /exercises /muscle /chest. Like,
so is it whatever exercise, is that a parameter of the name of the exercise? Like a params exercise name or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
They're not looking based off of IDs here because they don't want you to know how their database is set up. And most of the time, you don't really care. Like you as a user, maybe now, since you know a little bit more about web development, you're going to look for like ID numbers in the URL, which is fine. Most of the time, they're not going to have ID numbers. They're just going to have words in there.
So the resources like shortcut that generates all those routes,
yeah,
it only works for IDs. You can't do with custom params.
You cannot do for custom params. Yeah.
So you would have to write the routes manually.
You would have to write the routes manually. Yeah. Okay. So let's stop recording there.